All right, peace, brothers and sisters. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Giving double honors to 7130 South Chicago that told me this truth. Giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, what I want to do is I want to talk about, some things that I watch on a, day-to-day basis in terms of knowing about what's going on in the communities and things of this nature. And one of the things that's going on in our community is basically that's destroying our community is the influx of the gang and the drug culture. And a lot of us, we was deceived by that culture, and now we wear that culture or that lifestyle with a badge of honor, and we think that that's being a man in terms of doing what you got to do by any means necessary in order to pull yourself up from your bootstraps. See, and what this lifestyle and this culture has done is it has destroyed our community. See, the gang culture and the drug culture has really destabilized the so-called black community, and to the point where a lot of times we can't mend a lot of things with us as a community because we have so much hatred towards each other. And see, a lot of us don't even understand that we do, but we still get involved in it. So it was this movie back in the day called, I think it was called Panther, with Kadeem Hardison in them. And it was talking about the rise and the fall of the Black Panther Party movement, right? And how they were trying to, help the black community out. And the government saw this because, when black folks was giving out free food and stuff like that to the kids when they go to school, one of the groups that did that was the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? When they had like the free food program. But later on, CHA and stuff like that, the government, they took it over once they destroyed the Black Panther Party movement. So another way that they destroyed our communities, they showed it in that movie, was they started to allow a lot of the pimps and the gangsters and stuff like that, they were supplying them with cocaine. And even though we had already had like that problem in the neighborhood, but they started to supply it to us on a regular basis. See? And the reason why they were doing it is because that was their attempt to destabilize our community, because you got to understand, during the 1800s, you had Marcus Garvey. During the 1960s, during the 1950s and the 60s, you had Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You had, then later on, you had the Black Panther Party movement. See, they saw all these so-called blacks coming together. And one of the ways that they used drugs is to become a weapon against us. And now this is what we dealing with. See, when you see, how many is this? This is 6 people sitting in the barber chair. So altogether, it's 8 people up in there, right? Because you got a female up in there. And we don't know how many it is behind the scenes with the cameras. But see, what these guys are doing is, even if Bimmy, because the whole concept of this story is around Bimmy, which was an ex-drug dealer, that he basically was telling, he told on some people back maybe 30 years ago. And this guy by the name of Zip the Drip, he brought out paperwork showing that Bimmy was a confidential informant. Now, I believe that he was, but that's just me going off of the information, right? The paperwork that they always claim that you got to bring up. But let's say that Bimmy didn't do that, and Bimmy was a guy that held down the street code and all this type of stuff. He's still a confidential informant because he was used by the government to bring in drugs to his own community. See, the so-called Negro is not getting drugs. They don't have poppy fields. See, they don't have that. So they getting these drugs from these other nations. Like I said before, that look at you like you nothing. And it goes back to that movie called, I think it was called Panther, with Kadeem Hardison, my man that played Kane off of Menace to Society, Bo King, Woodbine, and all them, how they was trying to do good. But here it is, you had my man Ezel from Friday. They was using him as a mule to bring in drugs in the community to destabilize the community, brothers and sisters. So even if he didn't tell on nobody in the 1990s, he's still an agent. See, he's still an agent. It's because he was a mule that brought in drugs in the community. And really what Bimmy should do is, this is my expert opinion, Bimmy needs to really apologize to the community for what he has done, is because he's the reason that these young kids are raging in the streets. It's because he put their parents on drugs. See? And what these guys, what's interesting is, these guys, instead of them bringing out these facts that I'm talking about, they trying to save his legacy. See, when I first started looking at this, Mav Hoffa made a statement and said he was talking about his legacy. What legacy does, or calling him he called Bimmy a legend. Well, how is Bimmy a legend? Because he was one of the biggest drug dealers in Harlem. This is what I'm saying to us. See, just like 10 Toes Down, which is another hypocrite, we got to take accountability for what we doing. See, we got to do this. He's not a legend. He brought a substance into the neighborhood that destroyed the neighborhood. Is because the so-called white man weaponized this to destroy us as a people. So why is these individuals they not criticizing him or asking him the tough questions on this situation is because why? They glorify the street culture. Now let's look at the scripture. This is the book of Acts 10 and 34, right? The book of Acts 10 and 34, it says, the Most High is no respecter of persons. See, you can't look at these individuals, yo, and you can't have respect for them, and here it is, they done wronged the community. See, we talk about snitching. We talk about all this stuff that you gotta live by, but these guys, they push the goalposts every time for these guys, man. Like Bimmy was selling drugs. He was with the Supreme Team. The Supreme Team is supposed to be up under what you would call the nations of gods and earth. See, they supposed to be the man is the god and the woman is the goddess. See, how you gonna be a god and you bringing drugs in your community? But see, these are nothing but Israelites, y'all. And see, this is why we in captivity today. Is because we have rebelled against the Creator. See, we worried about our clothes and looking fly and all this type of stuff, but we don't have we don't care about each other. See, this guy should not even be allowed in the community until he apologizes to the community for what he has done to the community. And when you have individuals like this in the community, see, they should be walking with their head down. Is because they were confidential informants with the government to bring down their own people. I don't understand why people don't see this. Let's look at this. This is John 8:44, right? John 8:44. It says, ye are of your father it says, ye are of your father the devil. See, and this is what we have been reduced to. See, when you bring in drugs, my man B.O. out there, he's sitting there with the white jumpsuit on in a barber chair with the red hat on. B.O. is an old gangster that created the Bloods in prison. See, this is what I'm saying. This gang culture that has done what? Terrorized the community. So it's nothing wrong with you creating a social club or a clique of brothers that's going to defend the neighborhood. But once you create an organization like that, that's going to do what? That's going to terrorize your own communities. Then who are you? You the devil, man. You the devil. And this is what we got to start doing as a community. We got to start addressing these cats, man. Math HOFFA, all the rest of these clowns that's sitting up here, they ain't doing nothing but trying to save this man's so-called legacy. He has no legacy. His legacy is that he put your grandmama on drugs. See, he put the children on drugs. That's his legacy. See, is that a legacy that we supposed to be living by? And see, that's what's wrong with the nation of Israel. See, we have been reduced to nothing in this so-called country. See, this ain't nothing but a prison to us. This is why we can't lead nothing. It's because we're nothing but a bunch of hypocrites, man. And really, Bimmy is a victim just as well, because who is he looking up to? See, he looked up to people like Kenneth Supreme McGriff. He looked up to people like my man Bumpy Johnson, Nicky Bonds. Those were they idols. But who are these idols? They're nothing but agents to the community. So the scripture says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. See? And what is the lust? The lust is to excuse my French, to have all the bitches and hoes. To wear the latest gym shoes. To have all the money in your pocket. See, that's all we care about. Getting fly, go to the club, drinking, smoking, partying, right? But at what cost? Who is suffering from that? That's your family members. You put your people on drugs. See, back in the day, Joe, when you had people like for instance, you had Fidel Castro when he started to come against the regime of Cubans that was with the United States. He started to execute a lot of those people. It's because they were traitors to the Cuban community. It's because the United States wanted to use Cuba as a vehicle so that they could come down and, set up casinos and all this type of clubs and stuff, so they can come down there and eat off of those people, and them people, they gonna get pennies on the dollar. And Fidel Castro said, hell no, we ain't doing that. This our country. And that's why you had a lot of these Cubans up here today. The people that's been over here since the 60s and the 70s, a lot of them was kicked out of Cuba. It's because they had become traitors to their own people. See? And this is why Castro kicked their behind out. Right? But see, we don't do that in our communities. It's because we don't have proper leadership. The people that we so-called looking up to as leaders, they condone this garbage. See? And that's what I'm saying. A lot of us have taken on the spirit of who? The adversary, man. Regardless if he didn't tell or not, if he kept his mouth shut, he's still an agent. He's still an agent. And he was used as a person to bring in drugs to destroy the so-called black community. That's what his legacy is. And anybody that sees him should call him out on that. But a lot of these people don't do that, man. It's because, see, deep down, they glorify this guy. They look at him as a god. See, Mav Hoffa sitting up here talking about this is a living legend. How is he a living? What did he do that was legendary? See, what did he do in his career in the 80s and the 90s that was legendary? He was a legendary drug dealer. That's what he was. Let's look at the scripture. This is the 5th chapter of the book of Isaiah, the 8th verse. It says, woe unto them that join to, it says, woe unto them that join house to house to lay field to field. And it says, till there be no place that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. See? But this ain't the scripture that I wanted. I want another scripture because it identifies who Mav Hoffa and them is. See, a lot of these guys are nothing. Here, this the scripture here. It says, Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good. See, this is what they doing. When you see 050, the movement. When you look at my expert opinion. When you look at Vlad TV, all of these different podcasts that's popping up and bringing up all these old gangsters. See? Niggas that done did evil in the neighborhood. This is what we call good. It's because we are infatuated with the gym shoes they wearing. We infatuated with the baseball caps they wearing. We infatuated with the clothes, the cars, and the money, and the prestige that they so-called have in the community. See, we call evil good, but what are they doing? They creating gangs that's terrorizing the communities, right? They putting drugs in the community, helping the so-called white man destroy our people, destroy our future, our babies. This is why these young guys out here today, this is why they running up on you, pulling out guns that got switches on it. It's because why? Because a lot of them, they crack babies. So it says, woe unto them that call evil good. What is woe is? Woe is destruction. So a lot of you niggas that sit around here and condone this, y'all gonna be destroyed just as well, man. And it don't even matter if you don't believe in the Bible. See, you can fool everybody else, but you can't fool the Creator, man. You can get away from certain people because you got prestige, but you can't get away from the Creator. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light. What is darkness? Gang culture. See, that's darkness, brothers and sisters. What is darkness? Selling drugs. See, robbing individuals, causing terror amongst your community. But you're not gonna fight against the people that call you niggas every day, that control your neighborhood. See, that they not gonna do that. And he still is a confidential informant because what is rap culture? The rap industry is nothing but a new age cocaine, heroin, crack cocaine that is flooding the community, that's destroying the babies. See? So he's still an agent. So brothers and sisters, I just wanted to go over this, man, to show you that, look, when you looking at these, and these dudes is bozos, man. Let's get away from the way they dress. See, when we talk about coons in the neighborhood, this is who you looking at. See, this is the modern day minstrel show, the coons of the community. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, peace, shalom.